Sometimes we sit there in our walk with God, and I don't get it. Why do they experience this and this and this? And why does that happen over here? Why is all this taking place for them, but it doesn't for me? Maybe it's because you haven't yet stepped into it. Maybe because, why trust God? I trust God with my salvation. I trust God. I believe He's God. I believe He's the Son of Jesus down on the cross. I believe all that stuff is true. I'm for all those things being true. Okay, great. Maybe all that's true. But you're not really convinced that He cares about that thing that's in your life today that matters. You're not really convinced that He can take care of that situation, or that He can give you the patience or the courage or the perseverance or the wisdom to walk through that circumstance, or that He has the ability to change the situation or change the person or change the dynamic of what's going on around you. See, there's different levels of being convinced. And what I need you to understand is that as you keep walking with Him, you know, talking about the transformation process in point 1, as you keep walking with Him, you become more and more convinced. Like my level of convinced, if you said to me, if you back me up 20 years and say, Tim, are you convinced? Absolutely. 100% convinced? Yeah, I'm 100% convinced. I'm convinced. You can't unconvince me. I am convinced. It's true. I was convinced. But now you put me 20 years down the road, I'm still 100% convinced. It's just I'm convinced about a lot more stuff. The stuff I'm convinced about is much more broad and vast than it used to be. Because as I stepped into stuff, what I was convinced of back there became true again. That God is still who He said He was. That His way is still better, blah, blah, blah. That God is always going to be that way. Now just think about wherever you are in that timeline. Like, I'm struggling with this. I don't understand this. Maybe God can't that. Maybe it's because you haven't stepped into it yet. Maybe you're hung up in an area of convinced.